So I just finished Fake Skating by Lynn so I thought I would just sit down and blurt out all my thoughts. I wrote it all down on a scrap piece of paper that I was using as my bookmark, and then I transferred it onto my Goodreads, so I'm going to use my Goodreads as a frame of reference for what I'm going to talk about. I think I'm getting too old to be reading high school YA romance, because some of the dialogue in here was so crunchy to me, but I don't know if that's just because it was Lynn Painter being crunchy, or if high schoolers in general are crunchy, maybe a bit of both. I think one of my biggest thoughts while reading was how much the white liberalism of Lynn Painter's voice jumps out at you when you're reading the whole time. I don't know, I think that's very much just me. I think about author's voice a lot, in ways that is maybe not healthy to my reading enjoyment, but it is what it is. So here are a few points that I jotted down on my scrap piece of paper. Number 1, page 1, Lynn Painter uses the word neurotic immediately, which I think it was Betting on You. My Goodreads review of that was, I can't believe we're still using the word neurotic in the big year of 2023. Well, guess what? In the big year of 2025, we're still using that word. Number 2, Danny's dad, and Danny is the female main character. Her dad is in the military, and they call him the colonel, and my thoughts on that is that the U.S. military-industrial and imperial complex continues to be normalized. My third point is that I really don't care about cursing in books. I couldn't care less about that. But once I noticed that there was a lot of cursing in here, you really realize that there's a lot of cursing in this book, because I feel like you can't go a page without seeing like 10 curse words. And I get it. High schoolers curse a lot. I cursed so much when I was in high school. But once you notice it, you can't unnotice it, and it was really bothering me for no reason. Number 4, some phrases that I read while reading this book had me have to put the book down and just take a moment for myself. Gotten lit and an ugly fucking dub. I don't know, I just couldn't, it was hard for me because I knew it was an older white woman writing this, pretending to be a high school teenager, and it didn't, for me, it was a no, but I think in general, the target audience is probably fine. But also, one of the things that was happening is that the main character, Alec, has to have his nose clean and keep his nose clean. It kind of was implying that he was doing hard drugs when he was absolutely not. Maybe I just wasn't understanding what was going on with that plot point. Anyways, a big part of Danny's journey and maybe character is her need to go to Harvard. And there's no reason for why she has to go to Harvard. There's no historical personal connection for her. There's no specific academic programs, a specific major that she wants to be doing. She doesn't have any specific academic interests or niches. She just needs to go to Harvard. And it's not even a part of her character arc that, like, oh, she realizes that she doesn't have to go to Harvard to blah, blah, blah. No, it's just that she didn't get into Harvard, she got deferred. She needs to go to Harvard, and then she eventually does get into Harvard. And I don't know, I feel like if you're doing a high school YA book, I feel like one of the key messages is always, like, realizing why you would want to go to college, or why you wouldn't want to go to a specific college, or why it doesn't matter. She just wants to go to Harvard for no reason. Another point, I feel like Lynn Painter writes books in a way that is fishing for quotes to be reposted onto TikTok. She's a tell not show kind of writer. I think if you read the book, you understand what I'm saying. Or if you've read any of her books, you probably know what I'm talking about. I'm personally not a fan of that, but again, I do understand it's young adult. Miscommunication trope was heavily present in this book, and it was not written to its full potential. Don't get me wrong, I love a miscommunication trope, but the third act breakup was written kind of sloppily, and I think you can do miscommunication trope well, and I think this book did it okay. I also said I do have an early copy, so who knows if it changes by publication. That's true for the entire thing that's true for everything I'm saying. Another point, It's weird to me that YA romance has kind of followed the newer trend of adult romance, where the MMCs are kind of objectified or sexualized by the writer. Like, Alec is tall, muscular, handsome, suave, a flirt, and it made me uncomfortable to be reading about that because, I don't know, maybe this is a me problem. The last point that I had written down is that Dani is described to have curly hair or wavy hair, but in the cover all of her hair is straight, which is just, I understand that has nothing to do with Lynn Painter because she doesn't get to choose what the cover looks like, but that was another observation I had. And then these are the points that I thought were good about the book. I love a good fake dating trope, and I think that this book did it pretty well. It's not the best, but it's not bad, and I thought it was really cute. I think that Lynn Painter writes some pretty well-rounded characters. They both have things going on in their lives outside of, like, the romance, and they're trying to figure out their lives as high schoolers. Ultimately, yes, I had a good time reading. It's just really easy to harp on the smaller things that I have gripes with. Those are my thoughts.